Here I have my in-laws, Mr. and Mrs. Douglas, my mother, my sister-in-law Nicole and Avery, my brother, and I will take the floor.
So there are times when we all have had some chances in our lives where we had to overcome obstacles, whether it be financial obstacles, educational wise, or just health risks, dealing with family life, just daily of our lives. And we try not to allow those obstacles to shape us and how we see ourselves, be down on ourselves. So my first piece is To Kill a Mockingbird, one of the famous literatures out there by Harper Lee. And in this particular scene, we're in Macon, Alabama, in the courthouse where Tom Robinson, a Negro, is on trial for the rape accusations for Mayella Ewell, a young white woman. And in this era, as an African American man accused of this accusation of rape for white women is very severe, and they don't take it very seriously. So I will start in peace. Tom, did she ever speak to you? Why, yes, sir. I tip my hat when I go by, and one day she asked me to come inside the fence and bust up a shift rope for her. Mr. Finch, it was way last spring. I remember it because it was chopping time, and I had my hoe with me. I said, I didn't have nothing but this hoe, but she said she had a hatchet. She gave me the hatchet. I broke up the shift rope. She said, I reckon I have to give you a nickel, won't I? I said, no, ma'am. There ain't no charge. Then I went home, Mr. Finch. But that was way last spring, way over a year ago. Tom, did you ever go back to the place again? Well, lots of times. It seemed like every time I passed by yonder, she has something for me to do. Chopping, kindling, toting water for her. What happened to you on the evening of November 21st of last year? Mr. Finch, I was going home as usual that evening, and when I passed the Ewell place, Miss Mayella was on the porch, like she said she was. It seemed real quiet, like I didn't know why it was quiet. I was studying, just passing by, when she said for me to come there and help her for a minute. Well, I went inside the fence and looked around for some kindling to work on, but I didn't see none. And she said, "No, I got something for you around the house." I went up the stairs. She motioned me to come inside. And when I went into the front room, climbed up on the chair, looked at the door, I said, "Miss Mayella, this door looks all right." What happened next, Tom? Mr. Finch? I got down off of that chair and turned around, and she sort of jumped on me. She reached up and kissed me, right on my face. She said she never kissed a grown man before, so she might as well kiss a nigger. She said what her papa do to her don't count. She said, might as well kiss a nigger. I said, "Miss Mayella, let me out of here." But just when I said it, Mr. Ewell yonder hollered through the window. What did he say? Tom, you must tell the jury what he said. He said, "You goddamn whore, I'll kill you." Tom, did you rape Mayella Ewell? I did not, sir. Did you harm her in any way? I did not, sir. As my theme continues, overcoming obstacles is pretty hard. There are times where you may feel like you're the problem when the other person or other person you know close to you is the problem. When you overcome obstacles, you have to realize that sometimes it's not your fault, but it's their loss. And so now I enter to my poem that I wrote. A man, the invisible body who wasn't by my side. I wondered, does he understand how tough it is to grow up without him? How can I be the man when the man wasn't a man? I am an overcomer. Raised by the finesse physique of a woman, strapped me to her back and carried the load of two. She made her choice to love, to protect, to give me a chance. She knew I could win the race if only given the chance. I am an overcomer. Assessing the possibilities lead me to cap and gown after cap and gown after cap and gown. Look at me. What do you see? Is it success? Is it achievement? Am I winning yet? Where are you? I can't see you. When will you become visible so I can share the good news? I am an overcomer. Here I am, your son. I'm ready for another cap and gown. Can I count on the invisible to be by my side? Or will I have another empty body in my frame? Just know this, I am an overcomer. So Romeo and Juliet, we all know this as a nice drama love scene, but there's also ways to interpret it instead of just imagine it as a love scene. I interpreted this love story as moving forward and going over an obstacle, surpassing it by not being a puppet to your parents and what they expect you to do what's best for the family. In this scene, Juliet is talking to Friar Lawrence, trying to find a way to not marry Paris, the guy who she would ordain to marry was best for the family. So they concoct a plan for her and Romeo to be together. Hold, daughter, I do spy kind of hope, which craves as desperate an execution, as that is desperate which we could prevent, if rather than to marry Count Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself. Thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself. Then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away this shame. Thou copest with death himself to escape from it. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy. Oh, bid me leap, rather than marry Paris, from off the battlements of yonder towers, or walk in thieveless ways, or bid me lurk where serpents are, chain me with roaring tears, or shut me nightly in a child's house. Cover quite with dead men's rattling bones, with wrecking shanks and yellow chapel skulls. Or did we go into a new made grave and hid me with a dead man in this shroud? Things that, to hear them told, have made me tremble, and I will do it without fear or doubt. I live an unstained wife to my sweet love. Hold, then go home, be merry, give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night look that thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, be in thy bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou oft. Representatively through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor for no pulse, shall keep his native progress, but secretes. No warmth, no breath shall testify thy lightness. The rose in thy lips and the cheeks shall fade to pale ashes, thy eyes windows fall. Like death when he shuts up the day of life. Each part deprived of simple government shall, stiff and stark and cold, appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of sure death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morn comes, thou rose thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. As the manner of our country is in thy best rose, uncover on thy bier. And here shall come, and he and I will catch thy waking, and that every night shall Romeo bear thee hence. And this shall free thee from this present shame, if no inconsent toy nor womanish fear abate thy valor in the act of it. Give me, oh, tell no, fear me. Hold, get you gone, be strong and prosper. In this resolve, I'll send a friar with speed to Mantia with the letters to thy Lord. Love give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear Father. Thank you.
That was